can imagine having kids with different preferences makes food like even more complicated. I didn't even consider that because already with two people trying to have common food, it's like you gotta like sometimes I be wanting pork chops, and this girl will not eat pork, and we're not really to eat separate suppers because it's like, yo, it's kind of expensive to make two separate suppers, you know? Like, you gotta be economic with that shit. I'm not balling. That is not the place in life I am at. But yeah, I guess we're good to get started then. I might keep some of that as the intro to this. Yo, the TikTok promoting this got more hearts than any TikTok I've got on, like, no views. I fucking love the UK's passion. Maybe we'll just start covering more UK shit. Because, like, fuck it. UK's hot right now.
Yo, okay.
Because, like, I'm looking at what American shit's coming out next week. And I ended up on Nate Husser because, whatever, it's a short project. But, like, I'm like, yo, this is, like,
right.
I don't know anybody anymore.
Yo. So I was like, I looked at my roommate and I was like, yo, I need more UK rap in my life because I've been on this whole like techno EDM type of trip for a minute. And then Digga D drops an album. And then I was on the phone with breakfast cereal the night before. And I was like, I wish we could just review this. Like, I'm going to play it anyway because like I like Digga D. And then you're like, yeah, so we're going to do Digga D. And I was so excited. I was like, yeah.
That's cool.
My preference.
I mean, I just, you know, music's in a weird place. Like, I find, because, like, all the American pop shit is not connecting over to my soul the way it used to. Like, I feel like America's kind of losing its threshold as the cool as the rest of the world be picking up its steam. Like, yo, you find out something's like from some country you weren't expecting, you're like, that shit's lit. I don't even know what they're saying. Like, we're in that phase of life, and it's pretty fucking dope. Anyway, let's get started like proper. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Classic West Podcast. This is the show where we talk about albums like Digga D's Noughty By Nature. I don't know if it's pronounced differently. I know there's an O, but I'm just going to run with my Canadian, not American accent, Noughty By Nature. Digga D, that's it. That's what we're talking about. This is the Classic West Podcast. We be coming from through the hip-hop albums track by track, talking about each song on a project like this. My name's Holden Stephan Roy, and I was up till 3 in the morning last night because I'm an old man and went to a rap show. And so if I'm a little tired doing it, we still grinding. It's the world we in. So just letting y'all know up front where we at. But yeah, I'm Holden Stephan Roy, and him, the other guy,
I'm Chris Crow. I was also up late, but I'm energized. This
bro, he left a good hour and change before I left. He tapped out early. I was like, I want to ride it through to see the people at the end, but I don't know if it's like that in your city. But the thing says 9:30, and then it starts at 11, and then with the tech issues, and then the next thing you know, it's like 12 something, and half the people haven't performed, and you're like, damn, I gotta go home. Anyway, y'all are here for Noughty By Nature by Digga D, the review that we're talking about. So we like to start off our reviews contextualizing our familiarity with the artist coming into it, because you person watching a review of this length are probably a fan of Digga D, and you may be wondering why somebody like me is talking about it. Fair. I totally understand. I Googled what albums were coming out, and this was the most appealing looking thing of albums that came out. That's the whole. I didn't know who Digga D was, but I bumped the one track. I said, this is lit. And then I said, let's do the review. Have I listened to it? Of course I've listened to it before. We're talking about it now. We are live on Twitch, so if you want to bump the music with us in the future, Sundays, 12 p.m. EST, twitch.tv/BehindThatSuit. But still, so we did the review, but I had no knowledge of Digga D prior to 2 days ago. What about you, Chris?
I went down the UK rabbit hole like couple years ago, even when we started doing some reviews with back when we did gigs. I was also listening to some music, and then Spotify and its beautiful playlists, you end up just kind of bumping all the tracks, and I just stumbled upon Digga D and everybody else, And I just love his vibe, dude. I love his energy. I love like the way he plays with lyrics, the way he just is super hard. He like gave me that spark and was like grind music and like get out there and do some shit and like go, go, go. And then like just I got and then like the whole trap started happening and like well, I guess it was already happening. And I just kind of got sucked into that. He dropped his 2021 project, Made in the Pyrex, and then I bumped that, which I have a couple songs off that project as well that I like. And I just genuinely try to keep up. When it drops, I try to listen to it. So I'm really biased. I'm just gonna say it now. I'm really biased to this because he's in my rotation. Like I when I talk about songs that I go to Digga D's tracks and like. Even on his daily duppies, even on the Next Up. I actually, hold on. I found him on Next Up Part 1. That's how I found him. It was in a playlist. It was on some whatever UK drill playlist. And then Next Up Part 1 came up and Diggity's verse, he like, man, I wish I could like remember the line, but he said something and I was just like so hype when he fucking said that. And that was it. So I'm like uber biased to this. And I also want to let everybody know, like, you're either going to like it or you're not going to like it. And that's really what it is, because Digga D really just kind of does the Digga D thing, and it's fucking hype, at least amazing. To me.
I feel like that was my favorite commentary. You're going to like it or you're not going to like it. And that's facts about it. What about the cover and the title? How do you feel about that?
So the cover is cool. It's got like the evolution of Digga D growing up and stuff. When I saw the title, I was like, this is definitely in brand with what he does. I like the node to Noughty By Nature, the hip hop group. So that's cool. He's got that laced in with shows some kind of like inspiration of where he might have gotten inspired by music from. But I also felt like I said, it's on brand. It is, from what I've heard from him, this is like a title that he would use. But I also felt that there was going to be a little bit more personal, more than just the glorified experiences that he's had. A lot. So that like I felt like this is a little bit more of a personal album, but that's just me. Like when I saw that title and shit.
I thought, because again, I don't know who Digga D is before this moment. I looked at the title, and my first thought was, this dude has some backing because he got text on his cover. And you can't just have text on your cover like that. Like, that's not allowed. It's like a hard thing to do. You have to be like mad connected to get text on your cover. I know you guys might not have expected me to go there, but when he put the fucking doctrine of evolution, we have learned that animal forms may be arranged to begin with the simple one-celled, etc. I was like, oh, say word. That's like cool, because if I did that, Distro Kid would fucking block me. And I love this cover. I don't normally love covers to the extent that I love this cover. Let me just open this up in a new tab, see if we can get the fucking cover to zoom in here for a quick... No, I fucked up. Oh, we did it. Look at that. So he starts off as a little baby with a crown on his head, which is amazing, like you a young king and shit. Then he's got a toy gun. Then he's still got something in his hand that looked like a gun. Then it moves into like drugs and shit. Then it's like a evolution, and then it ends up in a microphone. And it feels like is just the... And the way it's got the figures and shit on it, it's like this is the case admissions and evidence of the various phases of his life story. And like, considering I don't know shit all about dude, I feel like he just told me his life story on his fucking album cover in a way where, ooh, it does kind of look like a Basquiat. That's a good call, breakfast cereals. It just like was one of the most impressive album covers I think I've actually seen in a really, really long time. Like, you guys, if you watch my shit, you know I don't give a fuck about covers. Here I am gushing on a cover. Plus the color palette, the beige, just kind of background with like emphasizing him in the middle. The way that the Noughty By Nature is scratched out, like it was really giving this shout out to Noughty By Nature with the proper. But nah, we not like that. We fuck up the grammar. We do it our way over here. And that's a big thing to me, because like I fuck up the grammar, and there's like an excellence to fucking up grammar that people who love grammar don't understand because they probably don't know how to fuck up the grammar. Respect to people that do understand that game. So I love this cover. This is one of my favorite covers that I've seen in like years, to be honest with you. The title's also dope because it tells me I'm going to figure out why he's naughty, and it's probably because of his nature. I mean, what else? It's pretty fucking explanatory, plus the grammar bit. Yeah,
I did want a tangent quick. Rollout was sick too. Now that I'm looking at it, the kid with the toy little ray gun was actually I'm pretty sure one of the singles that he cropped into that photo and put it out on one of his singles. And now I'm like, remember seeing that. And then I think I saw another one as like before the project came out. So that's cool.
Actually, we're gonna see parts of his promo. For those of us that are live, just in the way he does his music videos, because the playlist I have just has his music videos in it, so we're gonna watch those. But like,
fair enough.
He really like did a lot. Like, it made me realize how little effort sometimes we put into it on this side of the pond. And again, to the UK folks, we Canada, we not Yankees. All right, let's run it. Intro NBN. Chris, what do you think about the intro NBN? I don't know what NBN means, by the way. I don't know.
Naughty by Nature.
Oh, shit.
Naughty by Nature.
Silly me.
Okay. When we talk about songs bringing you into a different world and and getting you out of where you're from, this really does it. I like the piano riff. I like the sound it's using. I like his tone on this, and it's kind of different from the high energy music that I get from him. It's more pensive, more like really trying to let you know, like, this is my life. We get an insight from where, and I honestly, I'm not going to talk about a lot of the lyrics because I don't know shit from shit without just like quoting it, but they're there and they're very straightforward, which is what I like about Digga D. It's not so like, cryptic and fucking have to decipher everything. He's very blunt with what he says. Like just even the first verse, Lanark Road in Edinburgh House, in a council flat, just me and my mom went school in. And I like, this is what, and I've said this before, I like how they blur out certain shit. They just don't care, whatever. They'll just blur out certain words, blur out certain people's names. And I feel like it adds some sort of like mystery to what they're saying and to their stories. And it just also like,
because I just want to touch on that, because that kind of gives you the sense that if you're live at the show, that shit's not being blurred. And so if you want to know, you have to go to the concert to see who the fuck they're calling out. And I was like, that's the hottest shit I've seen from a marketing front. Oh my God, I geeked. I was like, because they guarantee you they're saying it, but they know they can't put it on wax for XYZ reason. Oh my God, it was hot.
But it's also like a trend in the music that happens. Like a lot of the UK guys do this. It's super. To me, it's super cool. We find, he lets us know that he kind of is doing some nefarious things growing up, stealing bikes, breaking padlocks, selling weed at school. That's when shit changed. But it also kind of lets me know that like these were like, just as in like American hip hop, these are things that they had to do to make money, to have to get by, survive, and kind of get through some of the grittiness that happens in their areas, which I really, really appreciate from Digga D. The way he flows, the way he switches up with the flow at one point, that was super dope. I really liked it. As an intro, I gave it a 4.1. I thought it was pretty solid.
The album's called Noughty By Nature. The cover tells you this shit gonna be a history lesson in man's life. And then he proceeds to really bring it back to like, well, back in the day, it was me and my mom's. My dad wasn't around, this happened. But like to the degree of, I used to sneak girls through the back at my nan's house. Like really like the level of context of what you get brought into it. It's like when you're playing a video game and they design a level and they put the little extra to like make the posters and shit make sense in the world. It's like those little extra details that just kind of like make the whole story feel personal. Like, unless you snuck girls in the back at your nan's, like, why would you write that shit? And it's like so much of this is so specific to like him. Like, who the fuck else could have written this song? Like, you could have written some shit that's like some of like.
I did it at my dad's. I snuck girls into my dad's house.
But that's
That wasn't
not
my
your
nan.
nan's house. You know what I mean?
I know,
Like,
I know, I
and
know.
then like the specific place I went to school, and then this particular avenues, and it's like, you know, a lot of times people want that authenticity per se, but like the bars that come out are authentically well written, not necessarily authentically historical or authentically personal or something to that degree. In fact, I feel like a lot of artists in the underground especially struggle with personalness. Bro, this is the most personal shit I ever heard as a first song. Like, you know, you enter the album and it's like, bro, let me bring you back. And I'm going to just give you my childhood and explain where the fuck this all starts. And it's not like written in a glorification kind of way. But by the end of the verse, people be getting shanked and shit. And you're looking at this like, this is why I bought a gun. That's how it kind of fucking ends on. And that's when I copped a gauge. Like, this, I'm like, that's like pretty like context setting. It's almost like a fucking movie. And it's like this intro part to it, and the way he raps it, his flow's so erratic and it's so well delivered and everything's so clean and the beat's pretty like calm, but you still kind of want to turn up to it, but it's not, you're not turning up yet. It's just a little bop. You're like, it's like the stretch to warm up before you're gonna actually move, you know?
I just also want to say this is what he does. Like even on a song Trust Issues, if I'm not mistaken, it's like this real. Like he really explains why he's got like trust issues within his family, within his people, within himself and shit. And a lot of like, as much as you get the grimy gangster hard hitting drill shit and you're bopping to it, whatever, there's like honest, real hard lyrics in what he's saying. And that's what I really love about Digga D is that it's like it doesn't sound fake. It doesn't sound over dramatized. It's like this is real. This is really what I've been through. This is really me. And I've always just like fucked with it, bro. It's yeah.
And arguably, y'all UK people might not know it, but Montreal loves y'all. Really loves y'all. Anyway, I gave this track a 4.5. It's a really, really strong start. And it's a cool way to open the album from like that perception. Also, I did not listen to any of the extended edition shit from a review context, so we just stopping at the end of the album proper. But with that, let's go and talk about Alter Ego. All right, y'all.
Oh my god.
Chris, what do you think of this song? Do you feel it's too dirty?
This is the energy that I enjoy from Digga D. This is the music. This is like you got 30-minute lunch, you're doing work, you need a break, you go do something. I mean, I work from home, so I'll just go do the dishes, and I'm doing dishes to this. Flat out, I'm just like having a blast, like releasing from the real world. It's amazing. What's cool though is that he's talking about the alter ego that I don't know if it's him or like one of his homies. I think it's him. But I like how he's breaking down this like savage alter ego, explaining that there's more sides to him than what we usually get, which I thought was really cool. The way he just flows with, "Oi, Shawty Shane, how you get that name? Just call double tap. You ain't got no aim." And I'm like, oh, I love that. I love that. The double tap is like, for me, a game reference when you double tap somebody and stuff from like Call of Duty and shit. Obviously, it's when you shoot twice on somebody. That's what a double tap is, to make sure they're like actually dead. But yeah, yo, it's so fucking dope. I love it. Shotgun Shane, man's name for a reason. Creeping side by side, go and greet him. Everything is just so great. I love his flow. I love everything about it. Okay, yo, I slapped it at those parts where they're like speaking and then it like fucking drops. Those are the hypest parts. You're just like, yo, lean back with a break and everything. Oh, it's dope. It's dope. Lyrically, a lot of what we're gonna get in terms of a lot of the hype song is a bunch of like drug gun bars, run up on the ops type shit. So I'm not really gonna pull a lot of the lyrics, but everything he says to me, I mean, a lot of it is like,
sort of. I mean, on this song, sort of. I would go with the sort of in response to what you said. Of a lot of this is just
there's other tracks on the album that are different, but there's like it's a lot of like I'm like, this is my life, gun bars, and like I'm a killer and type shit. Like that's a lot of what he does. But either way, it's still super hype, and the chorus the chorus for me just has like an extra bop to it, the way that the beat changes and has more of like a bass to it, a more like hype to it a little bit, which is dope. And he flows it well. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this. This was a 4.5 for me.
This song was brilliant for me because you know what happens? You're somebody like me, and you come across a motherfucking album like this, and they drop all these alter egos, and you're like, what? I don't know anything about anything. Or like they'll come and be like, you already know what it is. No, sir, I don't know what it is. It's like that kind of shit. And I feel like Digga D clearly pays attention to life or something. Because he just, first track is like his past, and his second track is literally an explanation of who the fuck his alter egos are. And he like contextualizes himself, and he's like, okay, Shoddy Shane, let me tell you how I got that name. This is this side of myself, so when you see me doing some Shoddy Shane shit, expect it to be this kind of shit. We do, you know. And then he moves into, you know, Digga D Daps, you know, and explains all these different egos of, or not egos, but like alter egos of like how he presents himself. Like literally he has a conversation between Daps and Digga D in the second verse, and it's so interesting how it's like his voice literally changes when he flips from being Daps to Digga D in the second verse. And that shit was like, whoa, that's really cool. That you're like literally just presenting to us in this track all the manifestations of your artistry as it like appears now, and giving us a sense of the different styles so that like we can see a bit of the range, but also like it's like adding a little codex so that if like some he just says Daps out of nowhere, you're like, who the fuck is Daps? Not now, you know. He explained it. He took the time to like introduce you to it. Plus it's a bop. And it really is like the flow is kind of airing over the beat. The way he raps is like at a superior level, in my opinion. Or maybe I'm just not familiar with the UK flows like that, and so the novelty of it is fucking me up. But like, it's just so different than what I'm accustomed to listening to, but still is delivered at such a level. And another thing is, you like Chris was talking about the lean back shit. You can almost picture this being done for the live show. Like, nah, they might just censor the shit at the live show on purpose just to give that effect, that drama shit. Like, I don't know, man. It's like you can see that a lot of thought went into making these songs slap in the way that they do to make people move beyond just having bars. But then when you dig in and it's like, yo, this is like context. So yeah, it's a bit of running up on op shit, but it's more like presenting the characters in the story before we move on, was what I took from this track. And I thought it was so cool. I don't know that I understand the slang enough to know if there's some triples or crazy fucking entendres happening here, because it is what it is. But the way he constructs the erratic nature of his flow, and the best word for it is erratic. It's just all over the place, but in a way that finesses into the beat perfectly. It's just top tier. It's really cool. This is a 4.75 on 5. I really like this track, and I wish more people made songs like this where they literally just explain their alter egos blatantly on albums where they introduce themselves like this. This is a cool project. This is probably like one of the best. I've never heard of you, but I have to listen to you and like discover you. Not have to in a negative sense, but like to discover you. Like this is the best discoverability project I've heard in a minute. Like, damn, I feel like I know exactly who Digga D is as I go through this shit. Anyway,
I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy about that.
let's load up on the next song. All right, Chris, what do you think about this song?
Yo, this one again is another hype track to me. What I took from this song is this is Digga D explaining how he does like missions in a sense when people are like talking shit about him, kind of maybe questioning what he really does and what he's really about. And I love it. I love the high energy. It's exactly what I'm expecting from Digga D. The darkness in the beat is super cool. I like how like it doesn't sound the same as the last one. It doesn't sound like everything kind of mashes together. Everything has a distinct different tone to it, a distinct type of like feel to it. So that's also really cool. I like how he's just like on the chorus, load up, pump out the Matic, make Copper Shot jump out of his jacket. The way he kind of just chops that up really quick and then kind of slows down and then brings it back. That was super dope with the flow. I don't, I didn't know what that meant. I'm pretty sure like pump out the Matic is like odd. take out the automatic. I thought Make Copper's shot was like he's aiming at cops because copper, but then I'm thinking maybe it's like the copper shot is the bullet that jumps out of his jacket, which would be like the ops or the people he's shooting at and making the bullet go through. And I just think it's dope, like just the way they say things and the way like they use like the like just the to describe the scenarios are just really really cool to me.
I absolutely think we fetishize UK fucking slang because it's just so different. Like, I absolutely believe we do that shit.
I like how he commands their respect in the first line, and the first line's the first verse where he's like, I can say this, but you can't say that. Suck your mom and don't think about saying it back. Say it back if you're bad and see how man react. And I like how he just commands that authority. And he's like, yo, I do what I want. I am the real boss. If you want to run your mouth, because that's insulting. Like, you don't say that. That's like a really offensive thing over there. And like, that's just cool. Like, that's just fucking cool. And it's like, I wouldn't, like, I don't know, man. It's just, I'm used to all this. So this is like what I expect from him. Yeah, no, this whole fucking song is an absolute bop. I like how in the second verse, he explains like sometimes this shit isn't planned, right? Yo, not planned, but I got to jump out and wing it and spin it and ching it and fill it up and fling it. And it's just like sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and that also shows you like he's really on site. He's really about that like on site life, and he's not gonna like back down and do some like bullshit. So. Yeah, no, it's fucking dope. I really like this. This is a 4.5 on 5 for me.
Yeah, I appreciate the song a lot. I don't understand a lot of the slang, like in terms of like for me, I wasn't so caught up on the copper part. I'm like, what the fuck is a Grand Power K105? I mean, maybe the genius thing. Oh, it's a gun. Like, I'd never heard that in my life. Maybe there's some shit that they talk about in America, but I ain't never heard somebody say Grand Power K105 before in my life, And then it's like interesting the way the insults come. Like, they can suck their mum. I'm like, fuck, never heard that before. So it's interesting to listen to, but like, I was too caught up on the flow. I was so into how he raps and how he like delivers bars and how the ad libs are just such perfect complementary shit. And I really think it's interesting how he like be coming through with the shit like, oh, you think I'm famous? I won't bust my gun. You think he's carrying off with the probation officers, like this grandiosity of like, don't test me just because my life has changed. Don't forget where I came from. You heard the last 2 tracks, right? None of that shit was fake, bro. So here we are now, and I'm famous. And as much as I don't want it to be a certain way, it comes out like that. I don't like commenting too much on the gang shit because like, the fuck do I know about it? And I know that, and But as far as that goes, the rapping side, bro, the way he came in with that part you quoted, the winging and spinning and chinging and filling and flinging and drilling, and like, it's just like, oh, say word. That's hype. Like the way that you can use the word it, change the first word and just flip it like that so flawlessly and actually deliver your message is pretty fucking dope. And he ran that for like several bars of like ridiculously well delivered before just dropping an entirely new flow a few lines later. That shit keeps me really interested and makes it, because like it's just so dynamic and alive. And I like that part a lot, and I could just see this being an amazing song. I would be jumping around the fucking concert hall, sweating all over the place, probably looking like a goofball, and I kind of dig that appreciation of that context. I don't even know if this is good or bad for the genre, so I can't tell you if I fully get it, but it is as hard as Chris made it sound. I feel like he is on site, as Chris said, but like, yo, it's hard. It was believable. I will give it to that. Like, it feels extremely believable. So without knowing him, I would have a lot more like, I don't want to offend you-ness in my face if I ever met mans to his face, right? Like, I would be like, y'all are like really doing this stuff. But like, I don't mean it like that. I mean like, it's so believable that like for a quick second it would be like the first thing I thought, because like, I don't, like it's just what it is. But like at the same time, I feel like he's such a reasonable person in the way he presents it. Like, it's not like I'm a hooligan. It's, I come from this environment. I don't know why y'all are fucking with me. And I love that like energy, because it feels like there's a high level of maturity to him just trying to like express himself, as opposed to like sell you on some lifestyle you're supposed to like jump on for clout. It's like the opposite of that. Like it's like saying don't do that in a sense. Maybe I'm misreading it, but yeah. Anyway.
Also, something and I wanted to just bring up this line just to kind of emphasize what I guess we're talking about. It's like the line, keep running your mouth, you're bright. I'll take out my knife and dim it. And I like the whole bright dim line, like that whole like parallel. But he really enjoys knives. Like it's not the first time, and
Bro,
not
it's
on the
because the
first track
fucking
that
guns
he's
are
like,
super hard to get in the UK. It's not like it is. There's no right to
I
arms and shit.
I know, but I also think that line also kind of shows like, yo, you keep running your mouth. That's not a smart move. And he's trying to be like he's trying to give that warning. And he's also like, yo, I still will step up and do what I got to do. I was just using that line because I thought it was cool to emphasize what we were saying. That was it.
Not fair enough, but yeah, it's also a wild thought about how guns are just different in the UK because it's like an island and shit. Anyway, I give this track another 4.5. It's really solid. It's really like an enjoyable experience. The next one is Stuck in the Mud. Also, the beats are good, by the way. I haven't like mentioned the beats a lot, but they're really fucking vibey and they're good and enjoyable, and they would make me dance. So Stuck in the Mud is the next one.
How'd you feel about the song?
I mean, it's a cool song. I like the fact that the beat comes in with this whole different style that you haven't heard, and I think versatility on a project's really important because like it just kind of keeps everything alive. So I really like that the whole tone comes in different. On the hook, he just kind of has this like boldness to the way he delivers everything. I never heard the word crud before today, so it was cool to listen to it. But my favorite part is when he just kind of cuts the flow to like accent that shit with it's not a playground thing, and the way he just dropped that and just felt like it broke the flow but complemented the song perfectly in such a cool way, and it's mixed different, and it just feels like the entire part of the line's an ad lib, but like it just adds power. But when he goes, but now he's stuck in it, I just really enjoyed it. I really loved that part of the chorus. Like the first time I was like damn, and then it hit like as the song played out, and I really thought it was a great way to add to it. Then I don't really know what it's about. I get the sense he's just on his come up. I understand that Penny Up's a show, which I've never watched. I don't know what it means. So I feel like I'm missing the main joke of this song that like made it make sense. Otherwise, I just get that he's doing his thing, that his delivery is dope. He's going to be like on site with it. I don't have a lot more commentary to add on his content, but I like the fact that his flow came at like a more calmer, steady delivery. Like almost like it's not as turn up energy. It's more like a cool, calm, collected boss feel to it. And I really enjoyed the vibe of that. So I'm going to give it another 4.35-ish. It was like I understood it less, so it was harder to get into it.
I really like this. I like how I feel like the song kind of explains a little bit of a situation that Digga D went through in terms of having to deal with the court and kind of like how he got away with it a little bit, but also kind of explaining to people like this is how real I am. Starting with the chorus, I like how he goes, he made it out the mud, I'll still put him in the mud, where it's like I think he's talking to somebody who's made it out the struggle. They're now getting money and shit. And even though they're in that type of life and they may be protected or having like they're not in the hood no more, he's still saying like, yo, I'll put you back. I'll put you back what it is. Don't like still don't fuck with me. I still live by this code. I still live by this life. So I felt like being stuck in the mud with the title kind of has this like double entendre where he's going to stick people in the mud, but also he's still stuck in the mud, kind of like mentality, that grittiness, that darkness. I thought that was kind of cool as well. Like you said, the flow on the chorus is really solid. I did enjoy that. I like that it's a little bit slower and not super like erratic and really up tempo. So that's also really cool. I like when he goes, I'll touch him with a 40 chrome. I'll still bring the 40 home. It's like, you know, a lot of times you hear people ditching the gun, this, that, and the next thing. And he's just like, nah, I'm going to like stand by what I did. I'm still going to like, I'm really about this to the point where I'm not afraid of what the next step is and shit. And then just like kind of explaining, Piggy in the middle of the court said he brought his phone. I ain't saving ghost cell site, said it was 60 seconds. And I feel like this here, he's like just explaining kind of what happened in the courtroom, kind of like how he defended and got out of it. But then when he's explaining, like, what do you guys reckon? They're just talking pure shit. He tried to run. I stuck it in his back and told him, you're it, which is kind of funny because I picture him like shooting him as like stuck him in the back or maybe stabbed him and then like freeze tag type of shit. So that was kind of cool too. And I just really enjoy like the way they just have like he has fun with the lyrics and like tying in all these different type of metaphors. So I thought it was dope. I thought it was really, really cool. I gave this one a 4.2 on 5.
All right, so let's move on to Pump 101. All right, Chris, what do you think about Pump 101?
I like it. So I like how he's like paying homage to the 50 Cent song, and he like is tying that in with his whole like culture and the way he kind of flows with it and everything. But I like how he's just like, I really am influenced by these guys. I really do hip hop the way you guys kind of do it, just in my own kind of style, my own type of lane. But it's like, it's cool to see. I really did enjoy that. I like how they did the CGM when they like kind of remixed the G unit. That's funny. I like when he's like, "Why for 5 guys? Me none yam 5 guys." I was just like that. That's funny to me because I know a lot of people who make that joke about the restaurant. But it's like I don't like
understand the joke, bro. It means nothing to me.
5 guys, like the restaurant called 5 Guys, and like these guys are so hard that they won't eat at a restaurant that's called 5 Guys because they're not like essentially gay. Like it's like a homophobia thing.
Oh.
Yeah, like me no yam 5 guys. I'm not gonna eat 5 guys. That's the joke. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's like, why 5 guys? Me no yam 5 guys, but he'll eat at Burger King, and that's what he actually kind of Burger King because me don't yam 5 guys, so he'll go to Burger King.
I never would have thought of that one time.
that's what it means. No, I do like the verse. I just like how he kind of sounds like 50 a little bit in this verse, the way he flows, the way he pops in. He does the song justice, which was cool. And he kind of just does the Digga D thing. I like how he puts the girl on an NDA if they're gonna fuck because all
that shit was hard. All of that shit was hard.
Super boss, like, really boss.
Say word. But like, do they have those? Can you just get girls to sign an NDA? Is that like a thing?
I would assume Emerald Cut Diamonds.
No, but I'm saying is, can you do that like now? Like in this, can you just like do that? Like in general, like could that like imagine that becomes part of like hookup culture? Like people be making each other sign NDAs in the future.
Yo, that would like change some shit. Like, yo, people could cheat and not get in trouble. Okay, we're done. Like, yo, like you legally can't say shit unless you want to take this to, and then there's like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why celebrities make girls and guys and shit, because girls be getting guys to sign this shit too, don't even get me wrong. I'm like pretty sure that's why all of this exists, bro, is because they got like girls and they don't want them to know.
Fair. What did stand out to me though was verse 2, Still Brickin. His verse, his flow, his speed was so crazy, but I felt like there was more of like storytelling here. Pesky told me, wake up to reality, can't lie. I was sitting there mad at him. Just imagine 44's got these pussies packing. And I feel like he's kind of really telling you guys like, yo, there's real shit happening and we got to like stop being blind. We got to focus on what's really going on. I know it's embarrassing trying to get shit across the border. Hella youths all taking mad orders. And it's like really showing you we're really getting packs from across seas. We're really like moving big weight. We're really doing big boy moves. And we got to be careful on how we move proper. Look, I wear a clock in that life's getting shorter. Bars. I could wig a man in front of his daughter. Now, I want to state this. I like how they use wig because, wig is like fake hair and they're like aiming at your wig. So they're going to take your top off. But I like the fact how wig is fake. So they're like implying that you're fake while they're saying they're going to shoot you in the head. I just think that's cool. I've always thought that was cool when they use that. That's just how I interpret it. It's dope. The rest
Can
of
we
it
just comment
really...
for a second that the whole wig shit in UK official culture is so weird? I'm moving on. That for me, it's weird. The whole wig thing. I don't understand it. It might have some cultural relevance, but like to see a bunch of people wearing wigs sometimes is wild.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I really thought this was a bop. I put this at a 4.5 on 5. I like that it's short. It just does what it does. Boom, it is.
Like, was it a flex to try to look as old as possible to have the whitest hair you could possibly have? Like, is that the move? Like, bro, I gotta look 65? Like, was that what? Anyway, I'll move
Well, I
on.
mean, could it just be that like different wigs had different hairstyles
Nah,
that
bro,
your
because they
natural
have
hair
these
couldn't
white
do?
wigs. They're all this white hair. It's like I'm trying to look like an old man, and then they take. Sometimes you be looking at people, and then they take their wig off, and they're like, bro, you look young without the wig on. Anyway, um, so like I really, really love Digga D's verse. I don't know what to say, man. He's spitting really hard facts. It is, in fact, easier. Yeah, it is for lawyers and shit in the UK, right? It's like that's where I seen the wigs because I think it's still active that like lawyers and I think Australia too has something like that, but I could be wrong. But it's like yeah, they do that shit, and it's so bizarre to me. Anyway, it's easier to fuck these women with 4 chains swinging. And I was like looking at his chains, and I'm like, yeah, that does make it look like it's a lot easier to fuck these women. Like that makes sense to me. 3 rings blinging and 2 straps gripping. I'm like, again, going does make sense. All of everything he just said there is it's like
He's a bad
but
boy.
it's not even that. It's just like getting past the pretense of shit. Like people be acting like
Mm.
their swag is nah, bro. He's just like, listen, it's just easier. That's why I'm doing this. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not fucking around with you. This is what my life is. But I'm gonna advertise it because it'll get my dick sucked easier. And I'm like, that's blunt and to the point, and I really respect it. And he's like, if you want this life, this is what it is. And the way he delivers it in that blunt kind of airy way, down to that NDA line, but like also like, yeah, but what you get with this is the Mayfair Hotel and this high living. So if you want this, this is what it is. And I really like the energy on it. And then still Brickin was hard. He just kind of came through and did his thing, and I enjoyed it. It didn't slap the same way to me because I was fascinated by the bluntness on his way of approaching women and shit. Like, I'm not even trying to like impress you with romance. That like caught me off guard, and I felt like it was super hard. Still Brickin's verse was delivered though with some serious excellence, and I really enjoyed listening to it. As far as the chorus goes, it feels like they're selling a lifestyle in this one. They're coming through like, we are doing this shit. If you want to be part of the wave, this is what it is. And I really felt like it felt like a single. It felt fun. It felt like a cool energy. The beat's great. Just kind of got a groove to it. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I really like this song. It's cool. I would listen again. I would listen to most of this project again though. I really feel like if any of this shit came on random, I'd probably play it at this point. On that note, let's hold it down.
So I like it because it's like nodding to 50 Cent. He does it really well. It's like just the way he kind of matches the flow, and he matches just the tone of it and everything. It really does he didn't fuck it up. Like you like somebody could have made this and then done really bad to it and changed it, or like Digga D could have done this and it's really fucking well. And just the theme of it is the same. The jail, the everything. The only problem is it wasn't my most liked song growing up, and I didn't really like the beat overall when I was growing up either. So, like, if I'm not just mistake, that's 21 questions, right? Like, that
Yeah,
was never
bro.
really like my
Girl, would you love me if I was
yeah, like
down? Would you love me if I
yeah,
was out? And how would you still
yeah,
got love for me?
yeah, and I this is kind of how I felt the same way when that song came out. I do like it better just because it's diggity, in my opinion. Like I like what he says, I like how he flows, but it's a nice little like I love you and I fucked up and just please don't leave. I'm gonna come out and we'll continue doing what we do and be fucking royalty together. So it's dope. I left it with a 4 on 5.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. Now, I don't know if I really like 21 Questions. I just know it's nostalgia. I'm in high school. I'm in grade 9 when fucking Get Rich or Die Trying drops. I like that whole era was just like my inception into music and shit. So I have a lot of nostalgic connections to like when all that run was happening in life. So this was really cool. But beyond the 50 Cent part, look at that first verse. He's like telling this whole ass story about how the cops was raiding it through, but thankfully his girl, dealt with the situation and got rid of the drugs, but unfortunately the money's still there, so they're gonna get him on money laundering, which is thankfully a lesser charge, but holy shit, it's actually attempted murder because there was a Glock. And I'm like, that's really fucking great storytelling. Like, there's a whole vibe, and it's so cool. And then it ties into, like, the chorus where it's, like, basically 21 questions, but, like, his version of it. Like, if I went to jail, took that L, would you tell your girls that you still have love for me? I can't even help it. It's two memories and shit. And then just kind of describing the fear and the questions of what it is to be like locked up and wondering if your girl going to be on OnlyFans, which is probably like a legitimate concern now. Like, what happens if she can't pay the bills? Is she going to sell that shit? Like, yo. And I think it's a cool take on it, like a modern version of 21 Questions that feels really true to him and just also still manages to represent it in a cool story-esque way where you really feel like you're inside the mind of this person in a jail cell, but you're more invested in it because you got this whole backstory on why they went to jail and shit, and I really liked it a lot. As far as like a homage to that song goes, I didn't know it could exist like that, but this is really well done. I'm going to give it a 4.5. I can kind of get where you're coming from on the beat. Like, it's super weird because, like, it's hard to not hear 50 Cent's version. But right. I still think it's brilliant in how he managed to make it so distinctly cool. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that one. Let's move on to What You Reckon.
Messed up, Aaron.
All right, what do you think about What You Reckon, Chris?
Yo, this whole song is a fucking vibe. It's a whole bop. It's so fire. So fuck my career for a second. This is the chorus. Fuck my career for a second. 18, I was on 7. 17, 6 in the West at 1, 2. This is just typical Digga D to me, but it's fire as fuck. Like, this is just like, I'm not like talking rich shit. I'm on my grimy drill shit. I'm savage. This is what we're getting. And that's basically like the whole type of song. Fucking his first verse just like bleeps out the first name, the first person, stretch like yoga. Boom. Got stretched like Yola. Mix the cocaine with the ammonia. And it just kind of showing you just more into what he does and what he's about his life. But like there's a sense of happiness when he's explaining this. Like he's like really happy to be saying this shit and proud of what he does, which like I think is kind of cool. I think he's just like really living his truth and living by what he does. And I thought it was dope. Top 10 with the skang, I'll blast him. Top 5 with a knife, I'll carve him. That's hard. That just sounds hard when he like, oh my God, I really love this. This is super fire. Yeah, no, it's solid. Like to me, this is like a lot of gunplay, a lot of knife play, a lot of just, I'm going to fuck you up. Like I'm savage mode. I'm like out wilding with the boys and we're just getting in and we're just like doing what we do and what we know. It's like kind of like instinct, which was dope. Yo, B-Lovee. Yo, that was not a voice I was expecting. First off, like I was kind of getting into a lot of like the UK, like the accent and shit. Nope. Comes in with this unique voice. This flow is super hot. I was like, this is really dope. What he repping, bro? Be stepping. He might sneak on the spot with his weapon. We on the up, gonna drop him any set. Like it was just super erratic, super dope. I really enjoyed it. This is a fucking banger, super slap. I gave this a 4.8 on 5. This is like, whoo, ooh.
I know y'all understood that because that's the level of descriptions we at now is noises and sounds. And you know what's wild is I'll bet that you communicated more with that sound than you might have with words. I digress. My fucking favorite bar possibly that I've heard, it's pretty up there in like dope bars to me. If your cunt ain't wet, I won't trouble it.
I knew it.
Yo, gal, open your mouth. Let me come in it. I'm just like,
yeah.
That's actually pretty fucking hard. Like, oh, I'm like at a point in life where it's like, oh, you're not horny? I don't give a fuck. You want to be here? Let's do it. Like, I was just like, okay, again, that's like a level of blatant, this is what it is situations where I feel like dudes act like they got swagger or pretense, but it's like, nah, B, this is transactional. understand. And I'm like, I kind of like it when people get more honest with their shit. I agree with you with B-Love's voice. Wasn't expecting it. All that shit sounded like a hard lifestyle again. Like turn up shit though, but like fun. This song was funner than the last one, I find. Like it was like, or maybe not the last one, but this one was just like a fun vibe where I picture the live show, dancing around to it, going up. Yeah, the individual
right. It's more fun than the
lines
last one.
are like cool. Like, but they're like all about a bunch of shit I don't fully, like it's just hard bars. Like, what am I supposed to say? I don't know, really understand what on 7 means. I guess that's a road, maybe 17, 6 on the west. Like, none of this is really like clear to me. But the way he says all of it is very entertainingly enjoyable, and I would just be fucking turning the fuck up live. So in regards to the way they rap, the energy delivered, the way this beat comes through. Also, somebody made a fucking joke on our Jackbox game about the Aaron beat tag, and I didn't know what the fuck that meant. And then I saw this, and I understood a joke from last week. That's fucking wild. So apparently, you done messed up Aaron as a well-known beat tag.
Aaron.
Aaron. Okay.
It's Aaron.
I don't know.
You have to do the A.
I don't know, bro. I'm reading it in my fucking words. I don't know that shit, bro.
What is it? Peel and whatever those guys. Those like two black Keen and Peele. They have a skit and it's called Aaron, and he's like a fucking student. He's like a teacher, and then the guy's name's like, and he tries to keep saying his name, and he's like Aaron.
I didn't know any of that shit. I'm not cultured.
We'll do it after the episode.
I don't know if we will. I don't know if we will. Key and Peele, shut up breakfast cereals for like holding it down.
Thank you.
Either way, cereal. I'm left with the sense that they know how to turn up and have fun, and I love the fact that like you can be hard but still dance. That's like an interesting twist on shit. Because to be honest, that feels more like the origins of hip hop than being hard and standing still with a mean mug. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
Chris Chrome danced on stage.
Next track, I gave it like a 4.5. It's a great energy, but I don't really understand it. So sometimes, okay, like it's hard for me to be like these bars are better than other bars. I don't know about that, but I do know the delivery is top tier. So 4.5 on 5, and the next track is called Main Road, and I'm gonna play the promo bit because like the promo bit's kind of lit. Assume, Chris, you enjoyed this song.
Well, yes, this is fire. This is super cool. I really enjoyed it. I like how he's just establishing that he's on all roads. He's on the side road, high road, back road, main road. He's everywhere. He's getting his money. He's doing what he's got to do. And I really enjoy it. I like how in the chorus he's also like, but estates is the best place. So you have to have like property in your shit. No cameras, chef that up and bust case. So he's like giving you some like boss moves. Like, yo, you're going to be doing this life. You're going to be living like this. You need a legitimate spot. You need somewhere where you're not going to get caught. You're not going to have like any issues and you'll be able to do what you got to do. And then where do we sell it? On the side road, on the high road, on the back road, on the main road. And I love the way he flows with it. It's really, really dope. I like the whole song essentially is just kind of like how he is on road and he's just out there doing this thing, and it's kind of like an experience of how he just kind of moves. But I like how he addresses in the first verse, the feds have me living in fear. The reason I ain't chinged something in over a year. Ching means to, from what I understand, when somebody gets chinged, they get clipped, they get shot, gets hit or whatever. But what I did take from this line was that it's like if the feds have you living in fear with everything you're saying, everything you're doing, you must be at a certain part now of like your career, your life, where you're actually like big. Like you're not just like some low time drug dealer. Like you're actually out here moving big weight, big shit. And that's like maybe like obviously it's a bad thing because you don't want to get caught. But at the same time, I'm like, that's kind of a flex if you look at it of how like big of like drug lordish type you are, type of kingpin type shit. So I thought that was cool. The rest of the verse really is just it's him just kind of going through, and if there's beef, he's gonna take care of it. If there's any issues, things are gonna get handled. So I thought it was dope. I like the vibe to it. I like the flow. I like the energy brought to it, and I just like the way you can bop to it. That's really what got me there. I like how in the second verse, he's kind of explaining to you like about the old days, how he was still like he was selling bear weed, he was making money off of these, he was doing what he had to do. I like how he says, I just shot 4 O's from the whip and blagged it. I said it's a TT, making a reference to the Audi. That was funny. And I like how you get that imagery of like, it's not an Audi. He's just like doing a drive-by and he's putting bullets in your car. And then he calls it an Audi as like a joke, kind of having like that weird, like not weird, but like dark comedy to it. So that was also cool to me. But no, this slaps. Like this flows really well. This is a fucking bop. I really do enjoy it. And yeah, no, this is another 4.8 on 5 to me. Like this is fucking banging.
Yeah, I feel like this song is like the hit. Like, you know, when you hear a project and there's like that one hit that's like bigger than all the other hits as far as hits go. This has like that hook. Like the first time you hear that hook, you can sing that hook. Like this, like when he brings it back, you're already going side road. You know, like it's got this whole vibe to it. The verses are hard. The energy is pretty ridiculous. The way that the beat slaps too, you just can't even stay still. You got to move to it. He comes through with the kind of like context to his life too. Like imagine like his career's gone on a bit. So the way you described it, I see it like he's explaining where he's at with things in life, you know, just kind of describing the change of pace, I guess, in this level of fame. But can I just point out one thing? In the music video, when he said took a train from Paddington, Grub, had bear, he's got this whole like bag thing, right? And there's a little bear in it. And I was wondering if that's a Paddington Bear reference, right? Like because I mean, I know it might be like really big in the UK. Like to us over here, it was like the shittiest cartoon show ever. And we watched it because what the fuck else was there back in the day before you had choices. But like, I was like, is that a Paddington Bear? Anyway, I know that might not be it, but like that would be really like just so innocuous, you know, just this little like reference with the bear and shit. Because they pull out a little bear out of the bag instead of drugs and shit, right? Like that's what they do to like trick the coppers in the bag and whatnot in the music video. Anyway, otherwise it's dope. I feel like the bars are hard. Like I don't fully get all the references because like I don't get them at all, but the delivery is ridiculous and the energy is ridiculous. And like if Digga D came to Montreal, I'd be like, yo, this is probably a really good show. It's like I want to go see that show. So I mean, I'm left with this is probably like a 5. This is like a really big banger. And it's like again like the energy, is delivery, the way the chorus just fits, the way the beat's just perfect on this. Like everything about the mixing just slaps. Like this is a single. I really like this song. Anyway, we can move on to Secret. All right, Chris, what do you think about this song?
This is a wild song. This reminded me of like trust issues in a sense where because he does a lot of shit and he has like a lot of fucking dark energy around him, he doesn't know if he can actually trust people. The way I interpreted this track was like he's having a conversation with somebody and he's seeing if he can like let them know a secret. Now, with this secret, it's like if you tell anybody, given all the things we've heard so far, he'll probably just clip you too. But like, so it's kind of one of those like, if I tell you, I have to kill you, so keep your mouth shut, you get to live type shit. But yo, let me tell you a secret that no one knows. In O, never had no hose, put a condom on, pay the one-on-one, found the cutest kitty, got some blows. Cool. That's the first secret.
So if I understand, the secret is he paid for pussy. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. So
that's the first secret. Yes. He put on a condom.
So shout out Digga D for being honest about shit.
Right. And then the second one, yo, let me tell you a secret that no one knows. It was us that turned my man to a ghost. And from what I understand with that lingo, him and his squad, somebody in the squad was betraying, was a traitor. And then he was on the op side or something, or he leaked some shit and he got clipped. And now he no longer with us. Rest in peace. So that's essentially the both secrets.
And I do like the can they keep it a secret though? Almost like you're like telling people secrets just to see who can be trusted and who gonna leak it. And so it could even be that all these secrets are fake. So you're just telling people shit and making shit up just to test the waters on people.
So, like, and just to kind of expand on it, right? Let me tell you, for verse 1, Digga D, let me tell you a secret that no one knows. When we slapped it at People are saying it's Frito. I don't know shit, but whatever. Anyway, this person, he was with this person and he backed his Sammy. Now them man are bros. And it's like, I don't know what like that particularly means. I think
because we don't know anything about what's going on in this song, Chris.
But like, no, but literally, let me tell you a secret. When we slapped it, that means they shot at them.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is we shot at them. I know, but you don't know the nuances of who these people are and the specifics. You get that they're telling a secret and they're using and illustrating an example of this violence that, you know, you don't know the drama that's surrounding it with the names of the people. You don't know that stuff. You've only seen things on the internet is all I'm saying.
Yes, I agree. But that's the premise of the whole song. And I think it's actually really cool the way he flows through it. Like he just gives us this nice storytelling about all these little secrets that he kind of does and he goes through. And you're just kind of left with this, like, for me, I was left with like, yo, you definitely have trust issues because of all of these things that you've been through. And I can understand why you have to like ask people if you can tell them the secret, kind of like questioning if they are aware, like self-aware of their own like loyalty or trustworthiness in a sense. And I thought that was dope. That, like, again, the rest of the verses are basically just what we've been getting. So I put this at a 4.7.
Yeah, I thought this song was pretty hard hitting. Like it comes in, and as far as like the concept of hard goes, talking about taking out your own team and etc., like that's pretty hard. Like, yo, we're gonna tell you some secrets now, but now it's not just you, it's like the whole world is being tested in a sense. Like, yo, can you all keep your mouth shut? And then can you all handle knowing this? That's like a whole other side to it. Like nobody knows this, but now you know this. How you gonna be? How are you gonna behave and maneuver and all these other things? And I was like, that's really like, this song like hit me. Like it really got in my head a little bit. I had to really like think about it because yo, he'd be talking about some shit. Then I realized, yo, you would possibly both make shit up / comment on life in an indirect way, right? And then you watch gangster movies and shit, and they do make up stories to test loyalty. And I'm like, okay, that all makes sense now. As far as the specifics of, like, who did what's in the gang world, I don't want to be Trap Lord Ross. That's all I'm saying. But, like, the way you describe shit is so hard, so believable, so, like, you feel like you're in this movie. And the way they censor shit, it's like, I don't know, man. Every time they do that, it feels like you're in on some taboo experience, like some redacted CIA document. And I'm like, that is so underused in America. All the features are pretty dope. I really like them. It sounded like they're like the second one. I caught a murder case. I'm waiting to beat. Like, damn, eh? Like, some shit's about to happen. It's a little secret. You don't even know about it. Like, that kind of shit is so blunt and blatant that and you're not even sure if it's true or not, or if it's just like an allegorical, like, let me tell you about the life and the situations, but you're left with that ambiguity, and that's what makes it so interesting. And then I really like how, like, Dodgy and Horde one also felt like all three of them sounded great next to Digga D. Like, sometimes on the posse cuts, I'm not 100% sure, like I'm going to like all the featured people, but I feel like all three of these folk just fit in so fucking perfectly with tonal shifts and energies were consistent. And as Amanel's saying, it's possible that the censorship is not just aesthetic, but has a lot more to do with UK law, which is pretty fair, eh? I mean, there's really harsh UK censorship laws in place that, like, you could get in a lot of trouble for what you say on wax. Fair enough. But it still creates this aesthetic that's fucking dope, actually. My shout out Zamanel still for that comment. And I really like how in Horde one's verse though, we board up fuck want a secret, you know, get on the cap and net, like whatever. And it's like he's not telling no secrets, etc. Like, don't do that. Like, it's almost like the summation of the whole song is stop fucking telling secrets. So it's like, in a sense, a juxtaposition, and as Chris pointed out, like almost like a dark comedy to the way they present the information, which is dope because, like, the British comedies kind of fire like that. It's pretty dark and ironic, so I kind of like that, like, element of it to it. It's just pretty cool. It's a 4.75. It, like, hits pretty heavy, and I think it like adds a level of interesting to the subject matter where they're approaching it in a different way than you would typically hear. So let's move on to G-Lock. So what do you think about G-Lock, Chris?
It's just fire as fuck. I like the contrast between Moneybagg Yo and Digga D. They match up together in such a great way. And I was just like, I like how you get both sides of I guess the pond in a sense to make that joke where like it's a really good contrast. It's just you heard it. It's fucking great. Do you know what G-Lock is?
No.
It's a Glock. It's the literal word for Glock, and they just spelled it G-Lock and rise the machine, the G-Lock, rise the machine, the Glock to like shoot you and shit. So yeah, there's that. And that's kind of like the premise of this song as well. It's more of just like that appreciation for the drill life and what they do and how they make their money and how they're kind of going off. I like the line in the chorus, crashed the car so fresh, had to skeet off. Now, when I first heard that line, I kind of felt like they just have so much money, they just crash cars and do what the fuck they want, whatever. But I think it's more like, nah, because they like they shot the car and stuff, that car crashed and they skied it off so that they don't get caught and shit, which is also pretty cool. I like when Diggity, at least the way I interpret it, was like, let me know where that barbecue is. I'll aim at chest and barbecue ribs. He's using barbecue as like as a term for a gun and like maybe a shotgun to shoot him and shit like that. I thought that was cool. And there's like a lot of these little like I've heard him do certain things like this before in his music, and it's like, oh shit, like I never thought of using that type of I never thought of using barbecue to like express that I'm gonna like kill you in that way. Like it was just cool to me. Yeah, I don't particularly have much to say about this song. I like when he's like, what's 9 plus 10, 21, where he's like all about the interest, all about making more money and the profit in return. That's dope. Oh wait, hit his heady one. Oh, that's dope. Oh, I just got that. There's maybe I'm reaching, but there's a UK rapper called Heady One, and I put the 21 and the Heady together, and I told him hold this one. Hey, oh, that's so dope. That's dope. I'm like geeking over some shit. Okay, either way, it's dope. It's cool. Like he does the Diggity thing, and it's super fire, and I just love the bop to it, and it's really nice. It's really really nice. Moneybagg Yo, just Moneybagg Yo is just fire, like super fire. And I know that like I may have to backtrack on that 2 Chainz review with Moneybagg Yo, and I was like how I felt with that song, but this really impressed me, just his flow on this and the way he just bounces around and he just like has like a great time and matches up. It was dope. I don't really have much to say about the lyrics, but it's cool. Either way, I gave this a 4.5 on 5.
Fair enough. He cracked me the fuck up. Chris is like, I love the way UK slang sounds different than American slang. Hey! And I'm like, fair enough. I totally appreciate that. But that's the gist of what I get from your enjoyment of a lot of the linguistics here. And I appreciate that. Otherwise, yeah, he's coming through and doing his shit. My favorite bar actually is the fact that like Moneybagg Yo's like the girl from London sucked my dick. Like that's so relevant and significant to him because he's American, and like I get the feeling that like Digga D would be like, whatever, okay, cool, I fucked a girl from London. No big deal.
Yeah, but Diggity would be like, American chick did
right.
this,
I know, like, but that's why I thought it was like funny, right? Because like he couldn't help it. He's like, yo, I got from London. You could just feel it from Moneybagg Yo. Like he was just tripping. Because like, let's be real, wouldn't you just be tripping if you? Like, I really enjoyed that part of it. The flow's ridiculous on this song too. I like the chorus. I like the part where they added like the gunshot sound to the fucking beat, so it's like as like a percussion instrument to like add that layer in, but it's not the whole chorus, so it's like it layers it down in the second chorus so that you can like wait for it, get hyped up and shit. I thought that choice was really awesome. I really like he is like literally bars in this chorus, and it's fucking dope. Like it's just the way it sounds is so like fun and airy, but it's about like shooting you and shit, and that's wild, right? Like it's such a fun song with such of a juxtaposition of content matter, and I think that's what makes drill as a genre so fucking interesting. I I love the use of ad-libs, the fucking theatrics that get put into it. And I think Moneybagg Yo's verse is just really dope. His flow perfectly rides over the beat. I mean, I don't think I need to say it again about Digga D. He's just fucking amazing with it. He's done it precisely on every song. But also, we can just point out that it sounds different than the previous songs. Because there isn't like this stagnation feel. It's like every song comes with a slightly different energy but consistent to the project to keep you invested. We have long since left so much the past. I feel like we're in the middle of raging on to what the present is like and just kind of exploring a bit of his current reality. But when you add in the context of where he comes from, and it's almost like this celebration to a lifestyle that got him to where he is today. And I feel like Moneybagg Yo at his place in his career is in a very similar place. And it's pretty fucking cool to like just feel that energy where like again you feel like they're having fun with life now, but this is just where they come from and shit. And it's such a cool mix of energies that they put onto it. So it's like a 4.5 on 5 to me. The beat's ridiculous. I don't even more to say about it.
That, I felt like this. Maybe because Moneybagg Yo was on it, but I felt like this had more of like an American drill sound more than the UK. Like I a lot of the UK music I listen to have like they still have the same type of drum patterns and shit like that, but the sounds, there is certain like differences, and I felt like this was more just like American drill. Take out like the way Digga D sounds and like all the accents and stuff. It's like I felt like just the beat itself had that, but it's still cool because he's also showing like, yo, I can also do your type of shit too, just the way that I do it. So I thought that was dope because like just to go off that comment there.
Yeah, fair enough. The next track is Statement. All right, what do you think about the Statement track?
I think he justifies his statement. And like to me, the entire track leads up to the fact that he says, "I'm as hard as Stormzy and Dave." What a statement to make! That's the whole like point of this track, at least to me, because Stormzy is fucking huge in the UK. And
bro, Stormzy was on a Linkin Park song.
Facts. And do you know we've done the Dave review, but Dave also is like
Dave is top tier, bro.
Bang. So it's like I think the way he flows this song and he just takes it on more of like a serious note and doesn't have a lot of like the theatrics and the energy to it. Like not that there's no energy, but like no high aggressive energy. It's more like listen to what the fuck I'm really saying. Understand that like I am making this claim that I am one of the best like them there. And I think is dope. Like I think it's super solid. He does what he does and he flows nicely. I like how he just is really like in his brain he's already certified despite anything else. Like forget what people think or whatever. In his brain he's super certified to himself, and I thought that was just really powerful. And I like this. This is like a 5 point not a 5.5, a 4.5 on 5 for me, because it's just, I mean, I don't really get a lot of what he's saying besides like the gun bars and what he's done and like when he's like sold this and some of like the girl bars, cool, whatever. But like the overall message of what he's saying is like, I'm being really real to myself and I'm claiming that this is where I should be and this is who I want y'all to see me as because I am that good. And I think he does a really fucking good job at it.
Yeah, I like this one. I feel like it does two things on the album. It kind of snaps out the middle part, which seemed to be like the current situation. I feel like the middle part of this project is almost like the what you would expect part, the singles, the hits, the let's drill it out. But then we're like snapping out and getting a little meta with it. And it's like that for the next couple of tracks, I think. So we're like back a little bit into the story element. And he's kind of, I feel like justifying his position, but also being like, why do I have to prove this shit to everyone, in a sense? Like, I want this to work so I don't end up going to jail or having some problems. Like, this music thing is proper. I am that good. I have all this shit going on. And then making the statement and putting himself into that tier, people might find it preposterous, etc. But, like, it's like this affirmation of who he is. And, like, he is building up to his, like, debut album next year. Like, technically, this is a mixtape, right? He's doing the Nipsey Hussle thing where you drop mixtapes until you're ready for your album when it's going to sell proper, etc. It's usually like...
All right.
What?
No, I may be wrong. I'm going to check first.
I mean, I said it right there on the Genius page that he's working for his first studio album is 2023. But like overall, I feel like it is this like cold analysis of his life, but like objectively, like it's meant to be like conversational, calmly delivered lines, and I ain't too good of and then he doesn't finish that. It just changes and the beat picks up and he gets a little more intense. Like I've been through all this shit. I made my mixtape. My life is transitioning. I'm getting free shit now. I can't afford to fuck up. Nah, we in this place. You need to understand. I am over here, and y'all are gonna see it. And when it happens, it happens. And if you don't believe it, and you're gonna tell me I'm too streets, you're gonna tell me I ain't clean enough for y'all. Fuck you. And I think that's the interesting part. Like, wildly, sometimes you might have everything, but people put this branding on you that they don't appreciate because maybe behind the scenes you don't want to play the game exactly the same way, or I don't know, whatever politics exists in that situation. I'm not trying to be like assuming of that, but the way he said that reminds me a lot of how like people almost acted about 50 Cent and others with regards to being too street for the corporate situations and the way they branded him and attacked him from a media perspective. So I feel like it's an attack on the media and the institutions that are not giving him the respect he deserves because they perceive him to be too street rather than acknowledging the quality of his music. And I think that's a super interesting way to like spin it. I thought this was a great song. It's like a 4.75. It really just adds this splice of different late into the project too. So its placement is ridiculously well done. On that note, the next one's also really short because this was like under 2 minutes. But I think these two tracks back to back make a lot of sense. So let's talk about Addicted.
It was I think it was nice to see him do something different with like the sing-songy, the more softer pianos, the more like just kind of softer tone to the song. I like how he still throws in like this drill and shit and still kind of keeping it hard a little bit, which is cool. What I thought was interesting is how he's very self-aware about his addiction to like doing these nefarious things and doing like the drill acts and stuff. And like it kind of it's interesting to see how like there's so many conversations that could be taken from it. That's how I kind of looked at it. It's like, are you addicted to this because this is just the life you've always lived and this is just kind of where you were forced into and like what you just had to do? Or are you just genuinely like, nah, I like doing this. I like spinning blocks. I like running roads. I like to chopping up bricks and shit. And I thought that was just kind of really cool the way he presents it. Um, I like how he's in the pre-chorus. I try to tell them not to glide, but then I would be a hypocrite where it's like he's still admitting that I'm still doing this. I'm still out here trying to be like, I guess, a good role model, but at the same time, this is my real life and I can't lie about my real life. I like how in the first verse, he's like, every time I try and relax, I see some verbal and I have to relapse. And it's just like he looks, it's like people still talk about him. He's still seeing things on the internet. He's still hearing shit. And for him, that like gets him mad, that sets him off. And videos of me and bro were like 3 straps, drills got our generation, like some B cats. And it just, you get this sense of like there's always something happening that keeps bringing him back into this life, and he just accepts it and he's kind of happy that it still just keeps happening. And that's where I got from this song overall. It's just like, shit, this really does like explain your, I guess, love for this type of life and how real and dedicated you are to doing the shit you talk about. So I gave this one a 4.2 on 5.
Yeah, I didn't take it like love. Like I took it like sadness. Like it feels like because the last song is this statement where like I'm as good as the top tier guys in my city, right, or like country or whatever. I'm like, we're here, but they ends it with this like I'm too street situation. So then it's like following that up with this song, it's like this explanation. It's like, look, like you guys want me to behave in a more clean way, we'll say, and maybe tell the kids to behave and be like this role model, but like that's not what it is. This is really what it is. I'm kind of addicted to this lifestyle, and it almost feels like with the way he sings it melodically, like there's a sadness to it, like this melancholy tone, like this acknowledging that this is like a drug addiction. Like other people are addicted to whatever, but in my case, this is what my addiction is. I kind of, and you hear it a lot in other types of people, like being trapped in the vibe or the lifestyle, or people will make lines like, you know, I try to get out, but I get pulled back in or whatever. And I kind of get it. Like people become creatures of habit and shit where it's what you know. And I guess when you are on the internet and people be talking, like, we all get caught up on them Facebook threads here and there where you see some dumb shit and you just got to get into it. But in this case, it's like to a next level, right? Like the way that the entire drill culture manifested with insults and internet comments and music video disses and a lot of other shit, where I kind of feel like he's explaining, like, this is what we know. This is the reality that we're in. And again, I don't know if it's like a love so much as a need. Like he feels compelled to go do it. And I don't know, I thought it was deep, like in that regard. And it sounds so different than most of what we've heard. It's just this sad song, but has a beauty in it because it's like acknowledging the reality of this whole lifestyle that, in a sense, him and his folks were raised on, in the way that like other people would have been raised on hip hop or other genres of music. And especially when we're young and genres of music become such an influential part of our identity, it's just a cool commentary track, I find. I give it a 4.5 on 5. Next one's called Attention. All right, Chris, what do you think about Attention?
I like this. I like this song. I like how he's kind of expressing that he's now at a level where people are using his name to gain clout, to gain fans, to gain attention, and they may be speaking, you know, ill about him, bad about him. And what we kind of get is that these used to be his peoples. This used to be people he used to fuck with. This used to be friends that maybe he was rolling with, whatever, and that now that he's now elevating to a different level, it's weird to see these guys or people just kind of like switch up on him and start like bad mouthing him and acting up. And I like how he's kind of like questioning some of this shit. Like in the first verse, fucked every girl that I wanted to fuck. Is that why you angry at me? Or are you angry because no one's dead in my gang? And it's like, are these reasons why you're upset with me? Like, is this because of me, or is this because of what other things? Are you angry in it and out of the can? Are you angry and Rich Mills cost 200 grand? Like, just kind of giving you these things that he may have or he may have benefit from in his life, and then just being like, is this why? Like, I don't understand why you're mad at me for what feels like essentially just being him and elevating in life and succeeding and like making money and growing to be this fucking great rapper and artist out there. So that's kind of what I took from this. It's just like he's acknowledging people are talking shit, people are using his name to gain clout, and he's kind of like, yo, that's fucked up. Like, that's fucked up, especially that we used to be friends or we used to kind of like affiliate together. So I thought this was cool. I liked it. It was a little bit slower, nice little vibe to it, nice little bop. It was good. Where's my paper? I don't know where it is anymore. I gave this one a 4.2.
Yeah, I appreciated this track. I feel like, in a sense, he's addicted to the situation in the last track, and it continues the story to try to even explain it further. He's like, literally, all these people are dying for attention. I don't know who they are. I don't want to talk about the drama, who's this and who and shit. It's like a whole scene I don't know anything fucking about, but he blurred their names, can't give them a mention. Fair enough. Chris apparently knows all about it. Fair enough. But just the idea of you as a fan before the hate, I think that's so insane. And the thing that I find like remarkable about this shit is go find me a rapper that doesn't have this song once they're successful. It's baffling. Like, pick a country, pick a fucking city, pick a fucking lane. The second somebody gets famous, this song appears. I don't know why. I mean, I do, because people be what people be. But it's so bizarre how, to this day, it's like you just know that the second you're going to become successful, should you become successful, that you're going to probably have to write this song too, because it's going to happen to you. Because it happened to literally everybody. And that's a baffling thing. Like, imagine that. Like, it's almost masochistic to want to pursue success at that level. I digress. He still got all the cool shit, but it comes with this cost and this consequence and shit. So, like, I wonder I wonder what life is like to be able to just disregard what people say about you one time. Like if you can do that, that's the secret to success, I think. Um, Otherwise, it's pretty powerful. It's like an addressing. Obviously, the song's just like addressing a bunch of public shit going on and pointing it out, but simultaneously explaining how people close to his heart are probably, given what you said, people close to his heart are the ones that like are bringing him back into it. So you may think it's just like random people on the internet, but no, it's this weird situation where, as you pointed out, he has trust issues because it's like people in his world that could just turn on you because you're doing well, and that's why
Well, he says it in the chorus. You was a fan before the hate. I think that's so insane. So it's like he's also kind of implying like y'all were fucking with me before
yeah,
others started hating me, and now you guys hate me. Kind of like riding the bandwagon a bit.
that's fair. But all I have to say, it's like it's just one of those tracks where like you're left with that sense of damn, eh. But like in the album, I guess what I'm saying is he like it links into explaining why it's so hard to get out of this lifestyle because all of this shit just kind of is there. But again, it's so close to home in a way that's not necessarily addressed, and that had to do a lot with the song sequencing. So I really appreciated that. So I give it another 4.5. It's an interesting song, and I feel like it keeps your attention this late in the project because it adds to like the overall story of who Digga D is. With that, let's move on to Rambo.
I think this is dope still. I think it has the same energy that we've kind of been getting with a lot of the music from this project as like this. What I kind of interpreted though is that this is like an appreciation of his knives and just how he kind of likes to use knives to kill people. Blood on my Rambo, blood on my kitchen, blood on my cutlass, blood on my flick ting. And I'm like, well, your kitchen knife, your Rambo knife, your cutlass knife. So I'm like this to me. I've heard Digga D like make various references to knives and how he uses things on other projects. So this is like another Digga D song for me, and I'm like, this is the knife song essentially. Like this is just the knife song to me. I like when he's like, I'm in America, still strapped with a Beretta. A Beretta is a gun with a long gun with a knife at the end of it. Ain't leaving my knife. That's the London in me. And it's like, yep, this is kind of what I expect. I'll take out your flesh. Try trouble in me. I got want to know. Just touch him
Bro,
and see. And it's
Bayonet's
just,
the gun with the fucking thing at the start at the end. A Beretta is just a gun company.
oh, I thought a Beretta was the one with the gun at the knife at the end.
Nah, it's a
Hmm.
bayonet.
I may have messed up on that. My bad. But it's still the knife song, and I'm like, that's where I'm sticking with that. Also, the whole Dubai thing, the went to Dubai and something got sliced, had the whole of the UK causing a big scene. That actually happened. He was like, I was following up when this was happening. He was off the grid and everything, and we were all like supporting him, making sure he wasn't in trouble and shit. So like, yeah.
How did you
I
support
don't
him?
know. I was just like prayers. Come home safe, Digga D. Make sure you get home. Don't like just make sure you get home and bring me this good music. That's it. That's what I did. I did what most of the fucking population does is just we send prayers and wishes. Hotboii was cool. I like his flow on this. I like how they kind of do this back and forth on their verses. That was dope. But like it's just it's a dope track. Like there wasn't really much more to it for me here. So I left this with a 4 on 5.
Yeah, I like this one. I feel like it's like the first auto-tuny feel that we've gotten on the project, so it was kind of cool to get that wetness on Hotboii's voice, that different kind of vibe to bounce off of Digga D. I feel like again, late album, you're gonna bring it back one more time, come in with more of a turn-up feel to this. Again, I picture like the live show for this. I picture it being more on that. It could be a single kind of feel with it. Overall, I like the flow. As far as the bars, I think the way he said Beretta was so interesting because I never heard anybody like I can't pronounce it like he did, but it was different. I'd never heard it in that accent before. But otherwise, I think it's also cool that he kind of does attach the real life incident that happened in Dubai, where I don't know, apparently something with a stabbing happened, but it got proved it was not him. So I didn't really.
Beretta also makes knives.
Oh, do they make knives?
I'm Googling it right now, and you can buy a bunch of like switchblades
Okay.
and flick blades and hunting knives and shit from Beretta.
But I know like a bayonet is. I mean, maybe I don't know why.
No, I fucked that up.
Because I was
Like
like pretty
a
sure that's the
bayonet.
thing. Anyway,
No. I'm
but Beretta
Googling it,
makes
but
knives
like,
is cool. I didn't know that, but they make weapons, I suppose. Like I don't know. I don't know my fucking weapons companies. It's not really my like thing. But I do like the fact that he's able to tie his life into it, and the fact that his real life lore is interesting. It's just like the fact that like people talk about it as part of culture is pretty interesting when people can do that. Because I find a lot of people have to exaggerate and make up a bunch of shit and sell a bunch of fucking fantasies about what they wish their lives were, almost like they're fake ass superheroes pretending like they're living some grandiose shit, whereas like other people just live
see,
lives that allow them to just draw on personal history to create like really impactful things, because like you can almost fact check the shit. Anyway, Hotboi's flow is great. I really enjoyed listening to him. I don't really have a lot to say about his words, but like the way he rhymed and did his thing was nice. I really appreciated the way he balanced out the track, and it did add like a new version of this song on this project, so it didn't add to any redundant feelings of damn, I've heard this before. It's really cool because usually when they bring it back like this late in an album, you're kind of like left with that feeling to it. But in this case, it was like nice. This was like, yeah, let's get ready. What comes next? I don't know. But why is the next one? All right, well, how do you feel about this one?
I'm like uber biased on this one, just because I really like AJ Tracey. Like I bump him within my rotation next to Digga D like throughout my days and shit. So both of them on the track together, I like what they've done on other songs too. So like I kind of know what to expect when they come together, and it's always nice. It's always dope. What I get from this song is kind of like, why are people two-faced, and you want to fuck with us? This is what's gonna happen. Why, like in the chorus, why, oh why, smile in my face but them too bad mine. And it's like, y'all smile in my face but y'all have bad negative thoughts about me. Y'all don't really care. Y'all are really hating. Come try, the corn fly high like birds in the sky. Okay, whatever. Try reach my necklace, you'll regret this when you lose your mind. And that's like, touch me and you'll get popped. So I like it.
Bro, like the best line in that chorus is, "We double park in Central, watch Shining Man, I'll pay that fine." Like to me, that's the best line. Like after all that, like fuck it, we live a life where we can afford to just pay the $50 ticket. We don't worry about parking. That's fire.
Absolutely. I felt this is more poppier than anything, but
Super
I've
pop.
always also felt that AJ Tracey is more pop than like drill UK rap. Like just a lot of his music is just more pop, even though he's got raps and bars, which I thought is dope. Like I thought it was really nice, and what really what really stood out to me was Digga D switched up his like grimy flow for more of like a poppy flow, and just the way he goes, it get that ticket, pay that fine, I move tickets on my line, kettle shine. Like it's just, he flowed super nice with it. It's very straightforward. Kind of like, again, it's very blunt. There's no like decrypting with this. They don't even have like any of the muting of the words. They don't mute anything. This is what I expect from an AJ Tracey Digga D track. Like just from what I'm known to, this is like, yep, this is their track. This is good. That like is dope. I like when AJ Tracey was like, and my team's got the Dreamcast like Sega. That was cool. But yeah, no, gifted, I can move shit like Matilda. I thought that was also a cool line too. But like it's solid. Like it's always solid. I'm gonna bump this. I gave this one a 4.2.
I liked it a lot because I feel like if you're looking at this like the evolution of his life, right? And so this project's kind of like, if you look, it's like the past, and it kind of matches up a bit with the way he grows up on the cover. Like it kind of moves into like you're getting more honest shit, and then look where we're at now. I'm on some pop shit with AJ Tracey. Like we also in this lane too. Like don't get it twisted. And I think it's cool that he did a few songs like this on the project in terms of showcasing that he's more than just, a drill artist that can make that kind of style. And I don't know that he's done it before in the past. Like, yeah, I said at the beginning, this is my first time ever knowing who a Digga D even is, but this is really great. calm flow, super simple. This whole song is airy. Like you could, like my girlfriend would probably bump this one more than some of the other ones. Like it's a great addition. It's almost like back in the day when they would like throw on that poppy or girl more oriented nice song, and it just fits like those projects did. And they would always throw them deep in it too, right? Like real deep. And I really think that's amazing because it really adds value to this project. It's absolutely like not one of my favorites as far as the energies go. Like I enjoy how well made it is, but it's nice. It's like a nice song that I feel like my girlfriend would like more than me. So I'm giving it a 4.5 because while I might not subjectively feel like it's my favorite, objectively this shit's pretty like impressive as fuck, and it really caught me off guard when you hear it for the first time. Anyway, that leaves us with one more on this album to talk about. I know Genius says there's more, but we're not doing all the extended stuff. The last one on the album proper is called Let It Go. You see what I mean, though? Like, this shit just kind of ends again on that, like, more pop-oriented, grandiose feel. Like, now we really a musician. Like, it really has evolved into this is that music shit, and let me show you what it is. And again, this just has that, like, album closer feel on it with the yeah, all of that. And then, like, he still touches on the themes again, but he does it in this, like, more calm, almost like he's doing the don't do this version of it. Like he is kind of like sounding more like Stormzy in them in a sense is what I feel like. He's like, okay, fine, you want it? Let me show you what the mature things, and we're gonna calm down a bit, and you gotta learn to let it go. And it's like, damn, man. That's like, okay, because the fact that in the middle of his story, he's talking about fuck all of y'all in the statement, you have to like think about it. Like that's just the phase that he's going through in this evolution of, and I'm just like, yo, this album is so well put together because now you get to this part where he's got this career going on, and then you think about it, it's commenting on current events and being a relevant, like modern album while also telling his story linearly at the same time, and that shit's fire. From like an album placement and sequencing point of view, that shit always gets me off. Otherwise, it's good. Yeah.
What I thought was cool is like with I think you mentioned it earlier, like how they're setting up for his next album coming. It's like this kind of sets up his fans to be prepared for what I guess like we're gonna get on the next project. More like studio vibes, more polished, more like let's say professional, official, big, grandiose, and you're not just left with like the mixtape type of grind, the mixtape type of sound, and the grittiness and all this. You get like this nice. There's going to be back vocals on back vocals. There's going to be extra singers. There's going to be more of like theme, like cinematic, anthemic type feels and all these things that make an album what an album is. And I think that that's actually really cool with, like you were saying, the growth and the journey of of where we've gotten. So, yeah. I don't have too much to say about like the lyrics. They're pretty cool. They're kind of solidifying really just like this is who I am, this is where I've been through. And like you said, it's more like the cleaner version of like you can get out of this, you can do better, you can become, like you can overcome your struggles and what you've gone through. Just look at my experiences. And yeah, like as like a little bit of a cliffhanger of an album, I like it because I'm really excited for his next project. If like we're gonna get more polished, and I might miss a lot of the griminess, I might miss a lot of the edginess, but I am excited to see like what we're gonna get at that like next level for him, and I think it does a really really great job. Yeah, the messaging is dope too. Like learn to let shit go. You gotta let some of the past go and just keep moving forward. It is what it is.
Yeah, I get this track like a 4.5. Again, it's more of an objective than a subjective 4.5. Like, I can tell this is the right song for this place and nothing else would have made sense here. But, I kind of like the more high-energy shit in general. I really enjoyed the project, too. Like, it really is cohesive. I feel like I just kind of summarized it a bit while describing what I liked in this song. But when you look at that cover, and you think about the order of the songs a bit, it is like this energy that grows in his life story to this point where he's mature enough to kind of embrace the role that like he's now taking on at this point while acknowledging where he's come from. And it's such an excellent project to introduce you to Digga D if you've never heard him before. Like, and considering he's building up to his first album, it's a really good strategic choice. The rollout for this is so interesting. Like, I'm really impressed. Like, I've become a fan of Mr. Digga D listening to this, and I'd say this is one of those niche classics. Like, it's hard to call it a big time classic without multiple listens, but as far as like the Digga D universe goes, like, this shit's probably gonna be like really cool, and one of those things that once he hits that next tier, a lot of people are gonna have come in on this project kind of thing. Not to say the local, I'm talking like that next level that I really think he's gonna achieve, because like, yo, this is some excellent fucking quality music, and that's what I gotta say about that, you know.
I gave that song a 4.1 on 5 just for what it is. But I do agree. I think like, I mean, I know, or at least I have some knowledge on what he sounds like and the music that we get. And when, like I said at the beginning, when you told me we're doing this project, I was fucking excited because I really do fuck with Digga D that way. Like, just the high energy and the storytelling and the realness is just really, really great. This I would recommend to people if you're trying to get into it. Yeah, this might be a really good introduction because it gives you your poppy vibes that you can kind of slowly. It gives you your anthemic vibe at the end where you're like big fucking, this is what it is, the polishedness, and you get some of like what he's, the nitty gritty down in the dirt in the mud type of, you know, gangster gun bars and shit. Whereas if you were to maybe go on like Made from the Pyrex, one that I in 2021, it's like that's a lot of street shit. It's a lot of, he does the different versatilities of the flows and the stuff and the this and the that, but that's a lot more of the street shit. And a lot of the stuff that I get from him is a lot more street. So this was really like a different side, which I thought was really, really cool. Overall, I gave like this project's a 4.3 on 5 to me. It's fucking great. I really, really enjoy it. I think all the features did nicely. I like the way he goes and he really shows you that he's not like everyone else and he does it his way and he really stands out. You know, I like just rewatch the interview and listen to everything we said and you'll get what I'm saying.
It's a review.
That the whole thing. I'm tired.
Anyway, appreciate all y'all for watching this for real.
What's your overall grade on the album?
I said, I was like, I don't know, 4.5. I just make shit up as I go along, dude. Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh, I thought
about
that was
my
the song.
grades.
My bad.
My grades are trash. Everybody knows that. Like, how is everything I give over 4 on every album all the time? According to me, all music is good. Why would you trust my grades?
All music is good.
Y'all are here for my commentaries, my assumptions. Like, because, fuck, I gave up trying to grade shit, like, well over a year ago. I'm like, fuck it, nobody cares. So I'm not going to try.
Fair.
But we just still go through it because it's the education. I love album sequencing. I love all of that sides of it. And I think, again, this is, like, well done on that. But, yo, thank y'all for being here and watching this review with us and my little introduction to Digga D. Let us know in the comments what you thought, all the things we got wrong, all your ideas, all that good stuff. Remember, we're not Yankees, we're Canadians. It's a little bit different. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, future people here that are with us live. Y'all are wonderful, and I appreciate y'all that come through. We do this Sundays, 12 p.m. EST. Even if we're really tired because we went to live events last night, we still running it. We'll be back next week with another one. It's just how it's going to be. And you can catch that twitch.tv/BehindThatSuit where we actually play the music. Anyway, if you want us to cover a particular album, you can do that by ordering us to at patreon.com/BehindThatSuit. And yeah, thank you all again. So live long and prosper, everyone.
Bye.
And yo, before I start the raid, which I will do shortly, I had to share something with y'all because I don't know if y'all watch that Penguins or whatever Moist Critical guy, but I got into his content and he told me about a poop map. So this is the San Francisco poop map, and these are actual poops that people have reported that existed in public. So as we raid out, I just wanted you to know that if you don't live in San Francisco, there could be that many public poops on your block.